Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of A Thought in Progress, subtitled I Have Something to Say. Now, this is going to be a little bit more off the cuff episode because I feel like I should say something. I feel like I should do something. The world is grieving, hurting right now. And I feel like I have an obligation to say something, or at least take a moment to grieve along with it and to really think about what can we take, what positives can we take away from this, how can we transform this shitstorm into fertilizer for a beautiful garden. And that's a difficult question. you know I'm working from home these days. A lot of people are working from home these days. So there's a lot of change, and change is ironically a constant, in reality anyway, and in my life in particular, and I'm sure in yours as well. Um, so, working from home, for me, that's an entirely different skill set and something I'm still working on. Um, I'm also streaming church services on Wednesday nights and Sunday mornings, during Lent, and probably going to have to stream Easter Sunday as well. So these are all things that take us out of our comfort zone and really challenge us to continue to be well, when the world's falling apart around us. That shitstorm that we need to turn into fertilizer. Shit hits the fan, and then what do you do with that, right? And so there's a lot of things going on in my life right now that aren't so great. I've got issues with my medication, getting my medication. I've got issues with getting my mail. My mail hasn't been coming when it's supposed to. And in the past, these things would have brought me to my knees. Um, but now I found like a whole new level of well-being where I can deal with these things. And the important point is, when the shit does hit the fan, when that shitstorm does fall, do we freak out, or do we find ways to problem solve and transform, and to transform ourselves, as more skillful, as more understanding, more compassionate, if you will. Can we take that? Yes, let's call it what it is. It's suffering. It's little things that shouldn't be happening that are. Um, even the pandemic. How can God let this happen? I spent long time last night, yelling and screaming at the Lord, very angry. Um, and you know, does that make me an enemy of the living God? No, no, it does not. And here's how diverse my spiritual life is. Yes, I stream church services, but recently I've also been streaming online meditations that a Buddhist journal has been offering over the internet. And today was one of those meditations, and as if the guy was speaking to my soul. Jack Cornfield, some of you may know him. He's well known for his mindfulness teachings and Buddhist teachings in the West. Um, Basically said, you know, right now it's normal to be very angry at the Lord, or at any higher power, or just angry in general, you know, absolutely incensed that the world has gotten the way it is, and that um, a living, loving God could let this sort of thing happen. The pandemic and all the other little tiny shit storms in our lives that add up into something that is very difficult to handle. And we wonder, is this the new normal? Or are we going to get back to something that we recognize? And I want to say this because each day, day in, day out, things change, and when you think about it, is today something that you recognize compared to yesterday? And what I'm getting at is we need to be flexible with our lives, because each day there's different changes each day that we have to deal with. Um, and we may not recognize the current moment, but we can stay amazed and aware and enjoy the sensations of that current moment. And what I'm saying is, can we find the wonder in the current moment as the shitstorm is raining down on us? Can we still find some joy in just being alive, even as we're falling apart? And if we can do that, that's wellness, that's well-being, and that's what we are challenged with, and what we're challenged to figure out in life. You know, so we're going to keep this rather short today. I just did want a couple other points or observations that I want to make. Recently, I posted on Facebook a little saying about truth. Um, Truth is the only thing that excludes other forms of itself. In other words, my truth may be Jesus, or it may be Buddha, or it may be a combination of things, or maybe New Age, maybe it's peace, love, happiness, whatever you want to call it. That one truth, if we don't watch and keep it flexible, will push people whose truths are different from us away. And that's not the ultimate truth. The ultimate truth is inclusivity. Okay? I don't want to belabor the point, but we need to find ways to connect with people even if they're different from us. And we need to find ways to be flexible and increase diversity in our mindsets, in our lives, and socially, and so on and so forth. So maybe we'll talk more about that next time. Um, just wanted to get a quick video in here, and um, hopefully something I said eased some of your pain or made you look at your shitstorm a little better in a different way. Maybe you can take those lemons and create lemonade, or you know, just try and find the wonder in the current moment. Try and enjoy life, even as the shit is raining down on you. Find something to be grateful for. You know, find something. This is a time to be reflective and really figure out, okay, what is essential in my life? What makes my life my life? What makes me me? You know, find that thing that's important to you. Maybe not hang on to it too tightly because you could get burned that way. But at least have a better idea of who am I and what am I going to do with all this shit, and how are we going to make some fertilizer and manure and create a great garden? Okay? And what can you be grateful for in the moment? All right? So find some ways to be kind to yourself. Find some ways to self-soothe, whatever that is, and don't judge yourself. Find a space in your mind where you can observe without judging. Okay? And that's called equanimity, and we'll talk more about that in the future, okay? So please find be kind to yourself, be kind to your neighbor, you know, and find some good in this shitstorm that is our lives right now. And I'll see you next time.